It's a trifecta for Fridays for you and me, right in a row. Bang, bang, bang. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we can find some winners this week. Right?
Yeah.
A few winners this week, maybe?
No, we got some big races.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's any bigger
most
than
valuable sprint in the world,
which is the Everest, right?
The Everest.
Out in Randwick. What's the TAB Everest? Is that just like the TAB to drink?
TAB is the betting company.
Oh, it's not the drink, the old TAB. You remember those?
No. It's one of the betting companies.
One of the betting companies down there. All right. So, because I was doing a little bit of homework on that, and when I saw the TAB in front of it, like, oh, damn, did I put the wrong thing in the hashtag? But I did not. All right. No. Well, besides the Everest, that's one race down in Australia at Randwick. We're also going to do the Caulfield Guineas. That's at Caulfield down there in Australia. And then on this side of the planet where people stand on their feet and don't hang by their feet like they do down there, we're going to do Newmarket again in England. And I didn't have the most success last week at Newmarket, so I was kind of hoping we would do something else. But if at first you don't succeed,
these are where the big race. These are where the races are, and more importantly, some of these horses may be coming out and running the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, which is not all that far away anymore, just a couple of weeks away, and we will have an announcement for you regarding some of the stuff that we'll be doing around here for the Breeders' Cup shortly, very shortly. In the upcoming week, you'll see something on our social sites down there below at Horse Race the number 2 day, Horse Race 2 day. While you're here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the bell. All right, Tom, let's okay, Melvin, win-win. That's what we want to do. Let's rock and roll. Let's start in England at Newmarket for race number 1. That is the Emirates Autumn Stakes. It is a Group 3 Class 1 for the ever so unpredictable 2-year-olds. Tom, in this case, they're going to run 1 mile on that Newmarket course. Of course, that's going to be just one straight sprint on this side of the, I don't know, it's like a Swiss Army knife or maybe a toenail cutter or something. I'm not sure, but
I actually think this is one of the better designs of a racetrack, in my opinion.
You think?
You get because all your sprint races are straightaways.
Well,
and for the most part, and even so 7 whatever. But then all your longer races have to negotiate the turn, but it's only one turn.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a tight looking turn. You got all the undulations. Last week, what was the where were all the winners last week?
They seem to be coming from the inside.
This week, though, I do think we have a little bit of a surface change. Last week, we had a very good surface. This week, we have a soft surface. So I'd imagine maybe you'll see them split up because of the softness, Tom?
No.
On
the straightaway ones, yes, maybe. But on the turn ones, no way. And remember how many are in that turn race?
More than you can count on both your feet and hands. You almost need them 2 times for that one big race there. So that's what I call a paper bag race. You put everything.
Well, we had to do that race. I mean, that's that's the payer.
Well, yeah. If you hit that one, you deserve a trophy just for if you hit it, because there's 34 horses.
Yeah.
All right. So race number 1 at Newmarket again on the good. They're going to run 7 of them. I think all the Newmarket races combine. No, never mind, because it's the 3rd race there. But go ahead, Tom. Race number 1. What do you like?
I start with number 5. Ornette is my top choice. Draw 3. When its first started Kempton on the all-weather, but it was at 7 furlongs by half a length. I thought it was a good starting point. Now they're going to switch to the turf, and it's trained by John and Thady Gosden, and they know how to place horses. And I thought this was a nice spot for it to get a little bit of a price. Number 4, Chief Little Rock with draw 5 will be my next choice. Ran last out at the Curragh in a Group 2 at this distance. It won its second start and then ran second in its first start. All these races, interestingly enough, have been at 1 mile. This is kind of a second stringer for Aidan O'Brien because he's got some other 2-year-olds that are quite good. But, if this one wins, don't be surprised if it shows up in the Breeders' Cup. And finally, I'm going to take number 2, Ancient Wisdom, with draw 1. It's run 3 races. It's got 2 wins and 1/3. The last effort was at Ascot. It was a 7 furlong race and a listed event that won it. So it wins. Looks like it can win. It looks like they're going to stretch it out. And Buick and Appleby. Need I say more?
Not much more, that's for sure. You can probably add one little thing to that. I'll see if I can do it. I'm going to go ahead and start with the 6-horse Per Contra at 11-1. This one has had 2 races, 2 wins, 2 easy wins, and they were both on soft, which is what we're going to catch tomorrow, not today. Although the races are today in Australia, but they're tomorrow here. So that's really confusing.
We did that intentionally.
Oh, yes. Just to screw me up, because I put different dates on them all the time. And Tom's like, Rich, it's tomorrow. All right. Number 3, Arabic Legend, 7-2. That is the best odds you can get right now. This one won its debut, did so without much of a challenge. It was a soft track. It was at Newmarket. This time the horse will be better in its second route after kind of not doing so well in the first route run. Number 2, Ancient Wisdom, one Tom and I agree on right there. This is, as you mentioned, Appleby, Buick. What else can you add? Godolphin. You can add that. Then there's nothing else left to be said. And then finally, number 1, Ambiente Friendly. Ambiente Friendly makes easy work of the competition in its debut, with the comments saying that the horse, I think he said it made all, but was in command. That's always what I like to see, in command.
Well, especially with a 2-year-old.
Yeah, especially on that debut, because in a way that kind of tells me that it didn't use everything it needed to make that race, that it still has more left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next race we're going to do, Thomas, is race number 2 at Newmarket. This one's 7 furlongs. This one is the Native Trails DEWHURST Stakes. Again, a Group 1. No geldings allowed, so these horses can run comfortably and not worry about well, they might get gelded afterwards. So they better do their best. Otherwise, there could be punishment. 7 furlongs again. Wrong course. We'll get to that one in a minute. 7 furlongs again. They're just going to make that straight dash, undulations, then downhill, then uphill to the finish line. Thomas, who do you have in the DEWHURST Stakes getting the job? No. Hold on, Thomas.
Oh, you didn't do the predictor.
I didn't do the predictor. I feel stupid now. Got to go back to race number 1.
Can't take you anywhere.
You can't take me out of the house. There you go. Bang. Chief Little Rock. Tom's top second pick, I think, in there. He's going to be your winner, according to that. His top pick, Orne. He's got a little bit of work to do. But Arabic Legend right there for a second. Looks like Ambiente Friendly and Starliner, they're going to make up the rest of the Superfecta. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go back to race number 2 and who you have lined up on.
As I said, I'm starting. Unfortunately, can't pick a price one. In this one, I did pick number 3, City of Troy, with draw 2. It's won its first 2 starts as the big favorite by 6.5 lengths and 2.5 lengths. Both these races were at 7 furlongs. He was a favorite in those races. He's going to be a favorite again. This is Aidan O'Brien's top 2-year-old. Could be. And, wins Saturday, Breeders' Cup.
Looks like the tipsters
rule that one out.
Looks like the tipsters went out on their ledge here, Tom. 10 tips.
Yeah. I just can't get past them. I
How
tried.
much you want to bet it's their free tip of the day, too, right?
Yeah, I tried with number 2, Array, with draw 7. On its last race at 6 furlongs at Newberry. It was the favorite in that race. That was a Group 2 race. When it's novice at Newmarket. All the races have been at 6, so we're going to add a little distance. And should get the distance and probably get more distance. I think mile beyond. But you got to start someplace, and this is as good as any, and the DEWHURST is a very prestigious race. And finally, I'm going to take 5, Hatim, with draw 8. Ran 2 Group 2 races and was poorly beaten. Yeah, he did run so well. But he's been in 7 furlong type races and did a little better. And so I'm going to say maybe he can pick up a little at the end.
And I couldn't get away from that horse either. City of Troy, the first two races were just too easy. The horse hasn't even been challenged yet, and last time out made a laugher out of a Group 2. So plus there were 10 tips on that one. How could I avoid a 10 tipper? Number 2, Array. That's also my second choice there, Thomas. I guess you and I were thinking alike, probably trying to figure out which one of these horses might actually beat that horse, if any. This horse is not all that far away, Array, from winning 4 races in a row. I think like a head and 3/4 of a length away from winning 4 races in
inches.
a row. Yeah, just maybe a head bob or something, a little misstep here. And the last one was a Grade 2 W at Newmarket. Number 7, Iberian, gets the third call for me at 7-2. Hey, maybe this one could do it, Tom, because it gets the second most tips with 2. Might be unbeaten in 3 races if it weren't for a funky start in race number 2. And then finally, the 4 horse. Why not take the longest shot on the board? Well, he's the second longest. You took the longest, Tom.
I took the longest one.
Yeah, you did. This one, and its debut came out, ran a strong race, and then kind of regressed a little bit in race number 2. I've noticed a lot of horses that do the 3-race thing in the beginning of their careers. Maybe in race number 2, they're a little bit sore, a little bit tired. Race number 3, they rebound. That's what I'm looking for out of Ben Shaddad. And I'm not going to forget the predictor this time, my friend. And the predictor says it's going to be a closer race than Iberian. City of Troy. Where is City of Troy? Not showing up in there? Is that an invader, Tom?
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a bold call from the predictor. City of Troy doesn't even come on the map, folks. So you can just take that 8-13 or 1-2 and toss it out. You don't need that guy. All right, let's move on to race number 3 at Newmarket. This one's 2 miles and 2 furlongs. Are they having hurdles in this one, Tom? Because most of the time they run this long, they got to jump over stuff along the way.
Well, no, but we have some horses that have run in hurdle races.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to go 2 miles, 2 furlongs. They're going to start here. They're going to run all the way down here. They're going to navigate that turn, and just then they're going to have to deal with some undulations downhill and uphill. They're going to feel mighty jealous of the horses in the first two couple of races that started here. This is a long race, Tom. I would suspect that they're going to start kind of slow, build some momentum, and when they come out of that turn, they're just going to go, see you later.
Yeah, well, about the 3 furlong mark is when they really start to hit it. And
when they hit that downhill portion?
Yeah. But we also should point out how many horses are in this race.
Yeah, there's a lot. Let's see.
34 horses. It's a full field.
34. Almost like the Grand National minus the jumps.
And there's a couple reserves. So
the deep field, Thomas. I think in a deep field, 34 horses, you probably shouldn't take anything under 34-1. So what do you have?
Well, I started with number 7, The Very Man, with draw 33. My top choice. He's run in a big money race at the Curra last out and just didn't finish. That'd be the best way to describe it. Before that, though, his form was really good. He won at Ascot at 16 furlongs. He was second at Galloway at 17 furlongs. But I also looked at his record for going 2 miles or over. He has 5 starts. He has 2 wins in 1 second. So if that last one was a bit of a fluke and we can toss it, he may run a nice race here. Number 34, Grand Providence is my next choice with draw number 7. The last out was in a Class 2 handicap at Newmarket, 18 furlongs, and ran well. She's run well in her last 6 races. She's got 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. She's a filly. She's a 3-year-old. So guess what weight she gets?
She doesn't have to carry anything.
About 114 pounds. So, she's in very light in this race.
There won't even be a jockey.
Handle the distance, so that should be very interesting. It'll be really interesting to see if she can hit the board. They usually in these kind of races say, oh, the older ones or whatever. She's really been consistent, and she's done it against the boys, and she wants distance. So why not? Yeah, number 10, Jesse's Evans is going to be my next choice with draw 18. His last race was at the Curragh. He ran fourth. It was 17 furlongs. This one sat on the lead, which I thought was interesting. He is a hurdler. He's won twice, and he ran third in one out of 2 races over the hurdles. In his 2 mile plus races, he's got 5 starts, 2 seconds. Well, I'm going for the price. I think it's an interesting move that they're bringing him from Ireland for this race. They must see something in him that thinks that he can get this get over this racetrack. And that's why I got to put him in. And because of the size of the field, I'm going to have one more choice.
You got another one? All right. What you got?
Yeah. Well, I think Sean won't give me, 5-horse field one thing. I think 34 horses we can
get it. We can squeeze one more in.
Yeah, we can squeeze one more. So I think I'll take number 22, Golden Shot, with draw 21. It's been running and doing very well at lower level races. It's 3 for 3 at middle distance races, but not as much success on the longer ones in terms of winning, but it has 2 seconds going over 2 miles. This will be its first time up in a Class 2 handicap race, but the gentleman who trains it is by the name of Sir Mark Prescott. He generally knows how to get a horse ready, and he's had some Derby winners. He's had a lot of really good horses over the years, and he didn't get that Sir by accident.
So this is one that has a tip on it, Tom. Surprisingly, of 34 horses, we agreed on one of them. Any guess which one it was, Tom?
Probably 22.
No, number 10, Jesse Evans.
Oh, that's interesting.
I kind of try to tip you off a little bit. Looks like it also has the most tips, 3 tips out of 34. I mean, everybody's kind of thinking the same. So 12 to 1 might be below 12 to 1. If me, you, and the 3 tipsters are on Jesse Evans, I like this one because it looks to me like the horse is in form right now. And on top of that, I also agree with you. It looks like the longer the race, the better. And this one's certainly long enough to qualify for longer. Number 20 is my next selection in here. That is Temporize. It looks like I'm just going to fiddle around with all these horses around 10 to 1. Temporize, the distance is not a problem. It's run longer than that. And then on top of it, at Newmarket, it's had some success with a win in 2/3 in 3 races. So likes the long distances, likes the track. Could be a plus. Number 22. I don't have that one. Just kidding. That one Tom has. I have 23, though, right next to it. Blazing 5. There you go. He's a 40 to 1 shot. Gotta like that. Third up after a layoff, our good friend Charming Charles's favorite handicapping angle. Looking back, the horse did okay in the last third after a layoff. But interestingly, the last 2 times this horse has been on a soft surface, Thomas, guess what it did?
Yeah, came in last.
Yeah, if you flip the field around. He came in first. And look, this guy at 40 to 1 has 2 tips as well. They may well be stay the hell away, but nonetheless, he's got 2 tips. And then finally,
in this race, why not, right?
Yeah, I have one last one in here, Tom. I get 4. I didn't know I was going to put a.
You went to 5?
I didn't go to 5. No, I got my 4th one, and that's it. Shishi Bird. I just wanted to say that. That's why I put that one in there. Shishi Bird. But anyway, this one's making the 3rd start after a layoff as well. This time the horse ran at this track last time out. It was a 2nd at this track and at the distance and on the surface. So I think you'll see some improvement here today in the classic 3rd start after a layoff. So 10, 20, should have just went 10, 20, 30, 40 if there were 40 in there, but 10, 20, 23, 28 for me in this 34 horse field. No matter what you pick on that one, folks, best of luck.
Yes. And if you hit it, it will probably pay a few dollars.
Yes. And then at which point you should probably stop gambling on horses because you've reached the peak. Last but not least, race number 4 at Newmarket.
Oh, no, we got one more.
Yeah, well, coming up, Newmarket. We got 5 at Newmarket or 4, right?
I have 5, yeah.
Oh, you got 5. I only have 4. It's because I get one. Because I got one more horse. I do one less race. All right. So Newmarket, 1 mile, 2 furlongs again on that Newmarket course. 1 mile, 2 furlongs, right at the very back of that straightaway. Boom! A very long sprint there on the Rowley mile course, although this one's a little bit longer than a mile, Tom. So the last race for me at Newmarket, the second to last for you.
Did you want to run the predictor for that?
Oh God!
Super horse field.
How could I not do that? I tell you, Jay Marco's right. The first thing to go is absolutely 1,000% the brain. Plus, I'm like really super tired. I had like 3 hours sleep last night. Shishi Bird, how about that? I wanted to say it. Shishi Bird is the winner. Thank you, Thomas. Not so sleepy. That certainly doesn't pertain to me. The Grand Visser, we didn't even talk about that one in there. Jesse Evans, the one we agreed on. It's going to be in the contention too. So yeah, they couldn't put 34 horses across the screen, so they could only do 6. So there's another 28 behind that in some random order.
Who knows?
The last one for me at Newmarket, second to last for you, Tom. What do you like?
I'm starting with number 4. I'm starting with number 5, Maribel, with draw 1. It easily won at 7 furlongs at Sandown. Went to the lead and didn't look back. But I didn't. Then I had to reread it and then watch it because that's not what happened. Actually went to the lead. It got headed and came back and fought on. That's really kind of interesting out of a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty good.
It means it has heart.
Won on the good to firm, so it'll be interesting whether it likes the running. But I think it's going to. Number 1, Arabian Crown is going to be my next choice with draw 5. 3 races. It has 2 wins and a third. Last out was a listed event at the Salisbury. It sat second in that race. It went forward when asked, and really they got everything out of it. It was a 1 mile race, so I'm thinking it may want a little more because when they asked it, it went, but it did very easily. This one, on the other hand, is run on the good and the soft goings and done pretty well. And finally, I'll take the French Invader, I should say, or not the French Invader. It's actually Ireland and a few other places it's been, but Gaspard de Lamos, I don't know. Draw 2. Won last time at the Curragh by 3 lengths, going 7 furlongs. His first race, the comment was he ran green. Very green. I watched the race. It was very green. It was all over the friggin' place. So to come back as the favorite in that race and win, yeah, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It should improve with the added distance. It won it on the yielding to soft going when it's win. So I think it'll be just fine on this surface.
So I think we did the same exact order. I like the 5 horse as well, Maribello, just trying to beat that 1-1. Won its debut, did so with a very solid effort. So maybe in race 2, we'll see some improvement. Arabian Crown getting the second call for me. That's your 1-1 shot in there. Getting better, race after race after race. And like you said, made some easy work of the recent competition. And then I like this one too. Gaspard de Lamos, for sure. That's how it goes. Tom, last time out, horse exploded when on a yielding course, debuted on a good surface. So maybe this one likes it when it's wet. Definitely will be the case tomorrow. I only get 3 picks in a 5-horse field, though. If I was going to pick another one, I might go with Sean's rule. It is Sean's rule. I might go with Dallas Star just to take the long shot in there if I were going to pick another one. All right, you have one. Before we do that, let's see what the predictor should say here. It should be able to handle. Should be able to handle a 5-horse field.
I would hope so.
Arabian Crown, that 1-1, according to it's not going to get beat. The Gaspard de Lamos coming in second. Dam Buster. Looks like the one we picked on top, Tom, according to the predictor, is going to finish dead last. What the hell is the predictor know? He let out the other horse, didn't even put him in there. And then in the 34-horse field, only put in 6 horses. And then here, our top pick makes it 5th out of 5. So as far as I'm concerned, the predictor can take the rest of the day off. Possibly. So you have another race. I didn't do race number 5. So
yeah, I did 5.
Yeah, well, let's share your
you got your wisdom. Why don't you run the predictor first?
You want to do the predictor will be my picks.
Yeah, those will be your picks.
5. Boom. I picked Spirit Dancer, then Knight, then Radobarg, and then Highland Avenue. Those are my top 4 in exact order. The predictor finally got something right today, Tom. But what do you
guess what? I picked number 1. Spirit Dancer is my top choice. Draw 5. It's been on a roll lately, winning 3 in a row at this distance and handicaps. And the last one was in a group 3. It's been really running on mainly on the good to firm. So the soft be interesting. 6-year-old did okay at the beginning of its career, through, but really this is a whole different horse right now. And I don't think the running is going to matter. I think it's just really a top form and going to be the favorite. Then I step a little out. I took number 8, Pash Ashok, I think. I don't know. Draw 5. Recently was transferred to Roger Varian ran its races in France. It's been gelded since his last race in August at Deauville. The former trainer decided that he'd try this horse against some really good, but he has one of those horses that I'm going to mention. 3-year-olds. One is named Ace Impact, who was recently retired, undefeated, won the Arc. The other one is Big Rock, who's also a top performer. So, he hasn't won in a while. He won his first 2 races, but they were also thrown up against some tough company. I think this is a lot better going for that. And there's another reason why I liked him. He's never run on a good to firm running. It's always been soft, very soft, whatever. And I think this may just suit it. And I think you get a bit of a price.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I'll take the old veteran, number 3, Highland Avenue with draw 9. Last 2 races, you ran 10 furlongs. You ran 4th in one of them. And they're on both races, actually. And, it was okay. He seems to be improving. I think the drop back in distance, the horse can run from the front or the back. I'm going to take a wild guess and say they're going to put it more forwardly this time around.
Well, I don't have any picks here because mine were, again.
Well, you got them. You had picks.
Let's see. Straight up predictor picks for me. Next up, we're going to travel a little bit way south, where the people hang by their feet. We're going to go to Caulfield for race number 9. This is a $3 million race, so it's not inexpensive in any way. First price, you're going to get $1.8 million. That's a lot of money. This one's going to be a Saturday race in Australia. It probably will tip over into tomorrow morning, I would think, in race number 9. It looks like 1:10 a.m. So Eastern time, 1:10 a.m. So they're all on Saturday, Thomas. They're going to run on this one. They're going to run 1,600 meters at Caulfield. If we look at 1,600 meters here, they're going to start here, and then they're going to come around this way and then that way to finish. So almost one big loop around the tool that takes out the SIM card in your phones. That's what that track surface looks like to me. At Caulfield on this long Guinness race, a couple turns in there, Tom, with the kind of.
Remember how to pronounce it.
The Caulfield?
Guineas.
Yes, the Guineas. So how are you with the Guineas, with these turns in the Guineas? Where do you want to be post position wise?
I think you want to be more on the inside, even though I did pick one a little bit outside.
All right. So you mentioned you picked
running
on the
style
outside?
the running style suggests that this horse will have to get cover and sit in. So right. I think 14 is okay.
That's the one you have, number 14?
No, I took actually 8, 4, and 11.
All right, number 8.
So number 8 is Centify, draw 5. Ran third last out. It didn't lose very much. He's had some nice runs at Caulfield in a group 3. Won his first 2 starts, ran second in his third start. His style, everything says 1,600 meters should not be an issue. He just didn't catch him last time. I think he's going to do it this time. And I think that there's going to be a good pace in this race based on the way the speed map look. The next one will be the undefeated horse, one of them. Would be number 4, Sheet Party, will draw 7. Has 5 races, and guess what? 5 wins. Last race is interesting to watch if you can, because really, I think the jockey made the difference here. And he just made just a good decision, and that, he beat my top pick. And he just did a really nice job of riding. Breeding says no issue for the distance. And guess what? It's a pretty good price for an undefeated horse. Finally, I'm going to take number 11, Verdad, with draw 14. And has a whopping 2-race career. Won its maiden. Really nice strong run, and they put it up at 1,600 meters for its next start, and missed by half a length. And that was a Group 2 at Monomy Valley. He's by Justify. Guess Justify has a few winners he's produced. And this one certainly is one you got to watch.
In the race for me, Thomas, the Guineas, I'm going to start off with number 6, excuse me. She's a con. Am I right? Cough. Did I put the right number in there? Race number 9. Did I do the wrong race here? Number 8. I think I might have. I don't know what I did. All right, Tom, we're just going to go with your picks, my friend. I think I might have.
Well, why don't you slide up and do the speed maps and the pace?
Speed map. Here in the early speed here, we see that it belongs to Rock Empire. I thought I did the right race in there because I was looking at the names. I don't know. Maybe I did race. What race did I do? Rock Empire, Verdad. That's Spanish. I think it means like really or agree or something along those lines. Like Verdad, like I agree. Setting position early on, it looks like you got a bunch of leaders, a little bit of pace in the middle, most in the back. So I'd probably look for a horse in here somewhere where the weak spot in the chain is. When they come home, plenty of them will have a little bit of pace in here, but it looks like your 8 horse, Sanctify, Tom, is going to have the most late pace in the race.
He seems to want to close, and I think this little added distance may just be the trick for this horse.
What the heck race did I do? Let's see.
I wanted FanDuel.
Yeah, that's probably what I did do. Let's see which one I did. What the hell? I got some picks in there. So I did race number 8. So let's just do race 8. So we're gonna have race 8 and 9. What the hell? You can do a double. She's a con for me. Definitely a miler. Second up improvement is likely to come. And then number 8, Nunthrop is my next choice. Is that one scratched? Yes. So forget that one altogether. Number 3 is next. Yeah. Well, hey, I can't get that one wrong. Papillon Club. That one's my next choice in there. 1 mile is the right distance as well. It's another one of those horses where it looks like it's keyed up for a rebound performance. And then finally, number 10 is my final choice in the wrong race. I don't know how I got all mixed up, but Whistler Lass, that looks like it's going to be your favorite. This is one of my favorite type of betting horses, Tom, except not when its odds are basically 5-2. It's an all or nothing horse. Either wins or doesn't finish in the money. This time it's in its 3rd race after a layoff. Again, normally a pretty classic betting angle, but the last time this horse had a 3-race cycle, it did regress in the 3rd race. So be careful on that one. All right. The one that go ahead.
Oh, now we want the big one.
Yes, the one that we all paid the big bucks to go. The TAB Everest. This one is at Randwick. The track there is, I should have mentioned too, that at Caulfield, it is a good 4 as well. And here it's a good 4, hopefully good for picking a winner, Thomas. And I don't think the weather's going to change by the time they run a little bit later on this evening. This one looks like it's going to go about 12:15 a.m. Eastern. So anything to the west of the Eastern time zone, it'll be Friday night. This one's going to be, how far is this one, Thomas? This one is
6 furlongs.
Yes, indeed. The most expensive sprint in the world.
Yeah, and we picked it last year. I wonder if we can do it this year.
So 6 furlongs. That's going to be.
Giga Kick won last year.
Yeah, that's the one that was undefeated, right? When it ran?
3-year-old, yeah.
So 6 furlongs, if I remember correctly, is like 1,200 meters somewhere in there, Tom?
Yes.
So it's going to start here, and they're going to come around this way and then finish there.
Yep.
So one big turn. Are they run backwards in this one? Looks like it, huh?
Yeah, they in Australia tracks run. There's tracks that go both ways.
And this one happens to go that way. That doesn't go both ways. In the track sense, of course. We're still a horse racing show. All right, Tom.
I hope so. Unless we're changing to Formula One.
So this is a quick sprint. I think it's like $15 million, right?
No, 20 million Australian. So dollars, I think. What's the conversion rate? It's either 14 or, yeah, I think you're right. I think either 14 or 15. So not a small amount.
Hell no. If I had a horse, I definitely would fly down there. It'd be worth it for $15 million. Come home the winner. I'd be 60% of 15 million, take home 9 million. It's a trip well worth taking. So let's find a $5,000 claimer that fits in here, Tom. I'm sure your pick wasn't a $5,000 claimer. Which one do you got?
I didn't pick a $5,000 claimer. I picked the one that they brought in, that they purchased, and I think with this race in mind, because they paid over $6 million for this horse, and that is at number 8, alcohol free, with draw 7. I refer to her as my favorite up and down horse. She's got 6 wins in her career. She's won a Group 1 at Newmarket. She beat Naval Crown in that race. And then she can really run some awful races. And her first start was the first start. She lost by 8 lengths in Australia at Randwick. But that race was at 1,600 meters. Her last race, they put her down to 1,200 meters, and she ran 4th. And sat behind the leaders and looked much better in that race. She's won big races before. She won a Royal Ascot. In the UK, she ran against some pretty good horses, I would say, including Baid, Mistress, Poetic Flair, and one that they brought up from Australia to run up there, which was Artos. I think she's ready to pop. And with that big price tag they paid for it, this would be a great little way to get your money back.
Yeah, well, you're going to do a lot better.
I just thought it was really interesting that she popped up in this race, and I think the 6 furlong or 1,200 meters suits her much better than some of these longer races that they've tried her in. Number 3, Think About It, with draw 5 is going to be my next choice. Won nicely last out at Randwick by a nose, and had some issues in that race, which was interesting. That was a Group 2 run. He's got 11 starts, 10 wins, and a placing at 1,200 meters. I mean, or in his career, and he's 3 for 3 at 1,200 meters. Pretty good.
That's real good.
Yeah, and if he's not there at the end, I'll be amazed. And finally, I'm going to take number 12, Cylinder, with draw 4. It ran 3rd in his last out. It was a Group 1. It was Rose Hill at 1,400 meters. I watched the race, and there were 3 horses right at the finish, so he was right there. One started Rose Hill at 1,200. He sat behind the leaders in that race and then pounced. At this distance, he's got 3 starts, 2 wins, and a placing. He's 3rd up off his things, and he hasn't won, but he's placed 3rd up. So that's why I couldn't put him on top.
All right, the last 4 picks for me, hopefully in the right race. So I screwed up the last one. But in this one, I think I probably got this one right. I'll think about it, Tom. A little bit foreshadowing there. You mentioned this horse's success. Well, you mentioned all the different things, but the one thing you didn't mention, Tom, is he ran on a good surface. I don't know if it was good for, but it was good for winning, because he ran 8 times. Look at that right there. 8 for 8 on a good surface. How do you argue with that? And then 4 for 4 at the distance, 3 for 3 at the track. There's got to be some numerology in that. Okay, 3 for 3, 4 for 4, 1 for 1 equals 8 for 8. Perfect. Number 12, somehow we are having a lot of agreement in here, with Cylinder at 11-1 as my second choice in here. Very competitive, this horse, and he'd done so at a lot of the group level races. Very good on a good track. 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a 3rd. My math says that's 7 out of 7. And in the distance, run it 3 times, collected the win twice, and ended up with a 2nd in the other one. At the track and the distance, got the W in that race. So another one where all of the different pieces fit, And 11-1 is a good price for a horse with that kind of record. Number 1, I Wish I Win. I Wish I Win as well. This one is likely to be better in the second start after a layoff. You can see the second up record here, 5 times out, 1 win, 3 seconds, and a third in there. So 5 out of 5, according to my math. At the distance, 6 out of 6 times in the money. On a good surface, 7 out of 8 in the money. Ran at Randwick one time, was at the track, was at the distance, and it won that too. So again, another one, as Terry says, that checks all of the boxes. And then finally, the last pick in this big money race, In Secret, number 9. Absolutely loves the track, absolutely loves the distance and the surface on good. 5 out of 6 on good. At the track, 2 out of 3. 4 of his wins coming on the 6 furlong type races. So there you have it. 3-12-1-9 in the most expensive race in the world, Thomas. All right, that wraps it up for the,
yes.
for the
Do you want
third week
to
in a row.
look? We got a minute or two. You want to look at the pace map on this one because that's really in speed map because that's really important in this race.
Speed early on, it looks like, because they are going backwards. You have a whole bunch of early speed, it looks like to me, Tom, in here. Yeah. So just looking at all this green, I would say personally, there's a lot of speed in there. I'd probably want to, and I'm glad to see that most of my horses aren't in that mix. They're going to get out there going fast. I'd imagine that this group in the middle here is going to have a lot to say when that race comes to a close. And then finally, that closing speed, with all that early speed, I would say this is probably where your race could be won. And you have In Secret, Buenas Noches. Think about it. There could be Higher Love, I Wish I Win. And then one of the also entries in there, and King of Sparta, Private Eye, another factor at the end. So I would probably look a little bit based upon all that early speed. Someone to be in the middle that has some late speed, my guess would be where the winner is. All right, Thomas, any thoughts about what we might do next week?
Yeah, well, it's very easy. We're going to be at Ascot. British Champions Day. And we'll have 5 Group 1 races to take a look at, or 4 races, depending on which ones you pick.
So I feel like doing, right? We might have 6 races or more because you might do one set and I think I'm doing the same and end up at a different race. That's the
well, we're certainly going to make our best effort. And one thing I can honestly say, I don't think there'll be any 34 horse fields.
And if there are, of course, we'll do our best to pick 4 horses that we think will finish 1, 2, 3, 4 in that.
We'll definitely try because, as I said before, they definitely do pay.
A couple quick notes before we get up and out of here. There is a link in the description below. You can use that. Head over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet for all the free picks that we put together. 1 track every single day. Make sure you tune in. You click on that. Use the description and the link down below so they know where you're coming from. Kindly hit the subscribe button. And if you like the show, like our good friends Rebecca Pollard Rhodes, Isaac Khan, Melvin Torres, as well as Jamie Burton Brock and Richard De La Torre, thumbs up are greatly appreciated, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Again, follow us on our social sites below. There will be an announcement this week regarding something very special we're going to do for the Breeders' Cup, and it'll be very exclusive too. So you're going to get all that information on our social sites. Of course, next Monday, Terry and I will return for Parks on Monday, Parks on Tuesday. I'm not sure, but maybe Keeneland on Wednesday. And then we're going to start doing a little bit of work at Santa Anita so we can start prepping for the Breeders' Cup, which is just a couple of weeks away. You can pre-order your Breeders' Cup picks while you're at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. We've already put place setters there. You don't want to miss out. Those pools are ginormous. Last year, I think there were 5 trifectas, Tom, that paid over $2,000 and that's just a trifecta. So definitely big money pools. It was like $128 million bet there last year, a record. I would expect, with inflation, it would be about $220 million this year.
Well, and I think another reason why we're going to see more, actually probably bigger money, is there are going to be a number of Japanese horses coming, including running in the Classic. And the 2 that are of note are going to be the ones that are ran in Dubai.
Good. So that'll definitely attract a lot more money. So I expect record money pools. And the good thing, folks, about when you're, all seriousness, when you're betting horse racing, the money pool is one of, I think, most overlooked aspects of when you're betting on horses, because you can only win what's in the pool. So you can take, I've had this happen where I've picked long shot early in my horse racing career at like Beulah Park on a cold, sunny, snowy, like Wednesday afternoon, where the pick 4 pool is like $800, right? And you got 20 to 1, 20 to 1, 20 to 1, 20 to 1, and the most you can win is $800 if nobody else has it. So the money pool is a key component to betting. All right, Thomas, that wraps it up until you and I get back together again next week for the Ask Scott, or I get back together with Terry early in the week, or Charles later in the week, or you're going to join Jamie and Sean for Horse Center. Whatever you do between now and then, we certainly hope that you are blessed with all of God's gifts, and every single thing you do ends up in
the winner's enclosure.
Indeed. Thanks again for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend. Look forward to spending some time again together next week. Take care.